I'm Ami Sims and I want to show you how to hang a quilt. I have a little quilt over here that I'd like to hang on the wall, and I'm going to use the No See Ums bracket system. It comes with two brackets, and these brackets are very special in that they have a distinguishing little nib that comes out like that fits into the slot of a tension rod. Tension rod goes in there and it hangs right on there. You'll see how that works in just a second. The brackets come with 4 screws, which you may or may not use. You don't need them if you're hanging on a regular wall. If you're going to hang the quilt above your bed, for example, and you're afraid it might conk you in the head one day, go ahead and use the screws. But I like to use the command strips that come with the kit. You'll get 2 for each one. You'll also get a level. I'll show you how that works. And you need a few simple tools. Some Post-it notes, a little bit of duct tape, screwdriver, probably a ladder. First thing to do is to, well, remove a little bit of the dog hair off the command strip, and you're going to peel off the red part first. And you're going to throw that away, like that. Okay, and on the back is where you're going to stick it. And this little protrusion, this little thing right here, is the front of it, so I'm looking at the back. I'm going to take the command strip and pop it on here. Press really hard to get it on there nice. The little rounded half moon shape is sticking off the bottom of the bracket. That's so that you can remove it from the wall when you want to take the brackets off. Let's say you're selling your house, you want to take your quilt and the bracket system with you. You'll want to take it off the wall. Okay, I've got these on place on the back. And you want to push them on there and probably let them sit for a few minutes just to make sure they're okay. First job is to give it a screwectomy. Take out the screw. So a little bit of the screwdriver, and these two things come apart. Let loose the screw, we don't need that. Put it back together. And I want to measure against the actual real quilt. I've got a sleeve back here. It's kind of a little bright, but I think you can see where it is. And I'd like the tension rod to come just inside the binding. If it bothers you, you can take off these little plastic caps. I sometimes do that because they slide in the sleeve easier. You can leave them on if you want to. It's totally up to you. At this point, I'll slide that little screw where the end of the tension rod is, and I'm going to tighten it up. There we go. What that does is it keeps the rod from getting any smaller. But to keep the rod from getting bigger when you're handling this, a little bit of duct tape goes a long way. Well, that is a little bit of duct tape. Okay. So I'm just going to wrap it like this. Actually, that's a stupid place to wrap it. If I wrap it over here, that's going to be better. Give me a minute and I'll figure this out. All right, there we go. Sounds good. Next thing I'm going to do is walk over to where I want to hang this quilt and put the 2 pieces of Post-it notes up on the wall, sort of more or less where the quilt's going to go. I've got 2 Post-it notes on the wall that indicate where the quilt's going to go. And it's going to be somewhere around there. This doesn't have to be exact, it just gives you a, hey, this way, or this way or that way. Anywhere close to kind of where you might want to put it is perfect. You don't have to get mathematical. You can eyeball it because you can change it later. So that I can accommodate another quilt that might be slightly narrower, I don't want to put the brackets here. So I'm going to pull them in a little bit right about there. That's my first task, and I'm going to put the first bracket up there, peel off the black and white strip, exposing the sticky part. I'm always confirming that that little nib sticks out, and I'm going to just place it up on the wall, about like that, as straight as I can, and then I'm going to wait and kind of rest my arm on it, push into it for a little bit. Next, we're ready for bracket number 2. Pull off the paper, and we're going to use the bracket that's already up there to hold the tension rod in place. I'm going to put a magnetic level that comes with the kit right there on the bottom, and it's just going to hang there. I'm going to take the second bracket that's now ready to go up on the wall. I insert the little protrusion in the back of the spring tension rod, and now I keep my eye on the little bubble in the level until it's completely straight in between those two little lines. Then I just simply press the bracket against the wall, remove that. We're ready to hang the quilt now. Take the spring tension rod, feed it through the sleeve of my quilt. Make sure it's all in there. There we go, nice and covered. I just need to feel for the protrusions, make sure that they are pushing the sleeve ever so slightly in against the quilt. Can take away my post-it notes, and my quilt is hung. And if you don't like the quilt the way it's hanging there, you can just slide it to the left, slide it to the right. Best of all, if you should have a quilt that's a little bit larger or a little bit smaller, you can use the same brackets in the position they're already in. Just adjust the spring tension rod to fit the next quilt. Isn't that cool? They're called No See Ums, and you can get them at www.amisims.com. When you want to take the brackets off, you have to be very careful and pull the command strips straight down. And you may want to grab it with two hands. You hear them squeak, that's okay. Straight against the wall and straight down, and then they come right off. And of course, they're useless after this, but that's all right. They can be replaced. Lots of stores have these command strips. Target does, Lowe's, Home Depot, a bunch of things. Notice I'm holding the bracket now as it comes down. I don't want it to whack me in the head. Look at that. Absolutely nothing on there. And you have one of these little things to throw away. That's it. Great system.